is up, my fellow citizens? It's Gio here, and today I want to talk about the game changer ship as officially named the Pioneer. This ship is just amazing, but first thing I want to talk about is the presentation that they have with the ship. This is probably one of my favorite in-game trailers with the lore, whatever, that's out right now. I mean, I bought this. I like this better than the Bishop speech, to be honest. And the character, he just reminds you of Elon Musk with Matthew McConaughey's voice. It was so amazing just watching. I got goosebumps. I felt like I was at the real press conference. It was real cool how they introduced the ship. Also my favorite ship commercial as well. But it also reminds me, if you guys have seen Prometheus, what's his name? Peter WEYLAND, I believe, the TED Talk 2023 that he did. They had the drones flying around, and the dude was speaking, whatever. It kind of reminds you of that if you haven't seen it. I'll probably leave a link in the description. You guys could go see the video for yourself if you haven't seen Prometheus, but it was very reminiscent of that. But on to the Pioneer now. Now, when I originally heard about this ship and it being called the Game Changer, that was a big title for this ship. So I try not to get myself originally too hyped about it. I'm like, man, I don't know. It's got to bring the heat. If it's going to be a game changer, there's a lot of hype around it. For months, everyone was hyped up about this ship. So I was kind of had my thoughts reserved. I'm like, I'm going to wait till I, finally see it. But once I seen this epic trailer for it and got more information, I was hitting the F5 button like crazy and had to get one picked up. I mean, the pre-sales sold, 2,000, and then about 500 at the time of this recording of the war bonds, and all the ones that you could use credit on are basically gone. Well, basically, no, they are. Just, it's at zero. They sold out in like, what, 5-10 minutes, something like that. So, 4,000 of these ships almost sold. That is, and mostly with like cash, that is a lot of money. These ships, the base version, well, there's only one ship, but the standard version that you could use with your credits, those sold for $850. The war bond was, $750. That is a lot of those ships sold, at that price range. But I could see where you would have to watch how many of these get sold, because this thing is a freaking manufacturing ship. Because originally when I started hearing stuff about it, I thought it was going to be a big ship that you could, land, plant aside, maybe the ship, get onto land, grasp on, and you make a mobile base, and you could easily, take it off and, just take off and go put a base somewhere else. This is a mobile factory. I mean, that's just insane. It truly was a game changer, real industrial looking. It's nothing pretty. It still looks cool to me though, because it's an industrial ship. But basically, this is like a little factory where you could build your outposts. I always wondered, where were these random outposts on the planets that we're going to be exploring on 3.0? Where'd they come from? Even though, some of them could be built here or there, from someone coming on there and, building it. But there's no, like, villages or nothing like that on these planets. So now it explains how those pods were getting there. And seeing them scattered out around the verse, I mean, that's just amazing how this idea came in place. And it came at the perfect time to release this ship. You got the procedural planets, the procedural cities, and with those procedural planets, we could fill stuff up to whatever we want just about on this ship. I mean, you have the different modules, which are habitation, armory, storage, med station, mining, refining, and hydroponics. Now, those are the interior options. The add-ons are ore gas extractors, solar panels, moisture extractor, geothermal heat pump, landing pads, and turrets. So, I mean, this thing has so many configurations that you can use for it. I mean, they got something just for about everybody. But the thing is, with this ship, you have to make sure that you have the right materials going out, because you don't want to go back and forth wasting time and money if you take a trip there and you just bought the wrong shit or you don't have enough of it. So you have to, the planning with this ship needs to be, very proper if you don't want to lose out on a lot of money. And I think this ship will be one of the harder, ships to run. I know you got your javelins and Idris and stuff like that, and even the Endeavor. But I'm looking at this ship, you know, me working in a factory and seeing how this factory ship works. There's so many components and stuff that could work with, you know, manufacturing and make sure everything runs smooth. If something breaks, you have to have someone repair it. Are you going to get attacked? You got to make sure you have the right amount of protection around you to make sure no one messes with you. So there's a lot of things that go on with this ship. And also, I like how that the explorer ships kind of go hand in hand with the ship, because you got to have them to explore areas to find where you're going to set up shop at. Where are the perfect placements for your refineries or gas, stuff like that. You can look and skim and make sure the land is legit, because you will be able to buy information. What they called it, knowledge. I'm sorry. Well, knowledge, information, whatever. Tomato. But you could buy knowledge from people, which I'm kind of still. I don't know. It's a little suspect, but I think Tony Z said something about a broker, information broker. So I don't know if that's going to be some kind of NPC that verifies the land from the person that's selling it. You know, the question with that for me is, I hope it's an NPC to verify that land, and then if you sell it, what if it's like some troll and like, hey, they're setting up a settlement. He'll talk to some pirates. If you want the information of where that's at, you know, you go attack there. So he could kind of double dip on both ends. Or if you are a pirate, you could set them up and just take all their stuff. So I don't know, I got, you know, just a couple questions with that. I wish they would actually had like a little 10-minute segment for questions and answers for this. Because this ship, there's just a lot of questions. I don't even think they should even do, you know, the regular Q&A. They should do like a video 20-minute Q&A live stream or something for this ship, because there is a lot of stuff that goes on with this ship. That's why when they said this ship could be ran soloed with NPCs, I was like, kind of cringed a little bit, because there's so much that's going on in this ship, man. To me, I would just trust me run this with my org, or hire some other, you know, actual humans and not no NPCs to make sure I get the job done. Because this seems just like a really, you know, delicate process to do, run, and construct, and all that fun stuff. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting this ship, or if you already have one. Now, another thing that caught my eye with this ship was the UEE license to own land. Now, my main question with this I wanted answered was, what happens if I'm in UEE space and I put my stuff on a planet and build my settlement or whatever without a UEE license? Am I going to get attacked by the UEE? I know I'm not going to get protected, obviously, because I'm not paying that licensing or whatever the case may be. But am I going to get attacked? Is it not going to allow me to put it there or something like that? So that's one of my questions I hope gets answered in the Q&A. But it's kind of, I'm curious how it's going to work, because in Arcade, when I had something like that, you had a little tax form. I don't know, I forgot what they called it in Arcade, whatever. To own a house, I had it, and it was a small area where you could put, you know, your house or your farm on that land. Now, I'm pretty sure with this procedural tech, there won't be no player zone where you can only build that stuff there. So I'm curious how that's going to work. And even with the, you know, the refineries and stuff, because in Star Wars Galaxy, if you found, you know, minerals or stuff like that, even going back to the knowledge with that, they got a website where players update the information on, you know, how many materials and where it's at and how long it's been going. But even with that, with the ore and all that stuff, when you're mining, it was a player zone around that as well. So I'm curious how CIG is going to handle that with the materials, and if we have player housing, will it be a zone? I highly doubt it, but that's going to be a lot of land on these planets. I mean, hell, someone could build our corp with pioneers if they got a big enough org, or just use that one. It'd probably take a long time to, you know, take over that planet. You need a lot of security, but you could basically have your own planet. And that's what just, you know, amazes me with this ship. It truly is a game changer. And even in the future, I mean, we could see variants. You know, I'm still hoping. I'm waiting for a ship that could transform into a boat on water. Hell, you could even have refineries or build bases on top of water. You know, I mean, the sky is just really the limit at this point. I mean, underwater cities, just crazy. But you know what? I'm gonna wrap this video up because I could just go on and on talking about this Pioneer. This is really, I mean, this is in my top 3 of favorite ships. It just jumped up there. I know this thing was expensive as hell, but damn it, I mean, it's I'll have to sit down and figure out which one is my favorite ship. So, did you guys get one? How many did you get? Are you looking forward to this gameplay mechanic? I hope you are, because this adds, you know, a lot more gameplay in the verse. But you guys have a blessed day, and one more thing, Star Citizen for life.